guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm coming to you with a tag video after a long time. I love to do a good tag video, if the prompts are great, and I found one such. Recently in Leslie's channel, The Nerdy Narrative, she recently did a tag which is called I Know What You Read Last Summer book tag, and from the sound of it, it's kind of horror, thriller kind of prompts mostly, but my answers will contain books from all the genre that I read, including fantasy and mystery thrillers and murder mysteries. So without further ado, let's get into it. Before I start the tag, I just want to make it clear that I wasn't tagged by anybody, but I found the prompts really interesting and fresh, so that's why I decided to do this. And also, I will tag the original creators in the description below. So the first prompt is called The Final Girl, a book with a strong female protagonist. Okay, so for this, I am going to choose somebody who is not necessarily one of my favorite characters. I do not like her much, but I feel that she is a super strong character, and that is Nynaeve from The Wheel of Time. If you follow my channel or if you've been in any live stream discussions, that I do not like her much, but I don't hate her because I understand where her anger and her frustration and the way she behaves with others comes from, but sometimes I just cannot take her. I feel it's over the top. But still, that doesn't take away from the fact that she is an amazingly strong woman, and she is at the same time a great friend and kind of a elder sister figure for the rest of the gang in The Wheel of Time. So that's why I want to choose Nynaeve, because I've always chosen her in negative things, like because I've always been trying to be too critical about it, and I feel very guilty about it now. I feel that I should give credit where it's due, and the strong female character would be Nynaeve for me. Next up, Popcorn, a book you couldn't put down or stop reading. And for that, so most of the answers to these questions for me would be heavily influenced by recency bias, because I kind of tend to remember recent books that I read, and for that reason, I think popcornish read that I read was Liar's Knot. This was such an entertaining read. It is definitely high fantasy set in an amazing complex world, great characters, but at the same time the story is so fast-paced and right up my alley, what I look for in a great entertaining book, and that's what this series is, the Rook and Rose trilogy. Third prompt, Ticket. Name the book that introduced you to your favorite genre. That would be The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, because once I read The Eye of the World, there was no looking back. I was like, okay, this is my favorite genre. There's no other genre that I enjoy as much as this. So yeah, Wheel of Time, another feather on Mr. Robert Jordan's cap. Angela was pulled into the world of fantasy by the great work of Robert Jordan. Prompt number 4, outdoor cinema. So there are like 3 subsections. The first part is name a book that has the best book to film adaptation. So I want to say Lord of the Ring, and I have used that answer a million times in many of the previous tags that I did. So I will forego it for now, and I would like to choose The Witcher. So if you have not watched my previous video, you wouldn't know this, but I tipped my toes into the Witcher world. Finally, after so many months and years of this book set sitting on my bookshelf, I finally picked up The Witcher. So I started off with The Last Wish, which is a collection of short stories set in the Witcher world. If you want to know what I thought about it, please check out my review. But I think that after reading this one book, in the series. And I have watched one episode of The Witcher, and also, of course, I've seen bits and pieces here and there while my husband was watching it. So I think that the makers of the series, of the TV show, have done a great job in adapting the world of The Witcher. And casting, what can I say? Even though they lost their game recently, Henry Cavill, I think they couldn't have picked a better actor than Henry Cavill. Whew, it's getting hot here just mentioning his name. But I don't know. I want to give Liam a chance. Let's see if that works out. But I know that there is an overall disappointment about the choice. But I'm not the one to jump into conclusion before watching anything. So yeah, that's my answer. Name a scary movie that you recommend. So that would be The Descent. I really enjoyed that movie because I was wondering where is the horror stuff throughout half of the movie. Then it kicked in. Another movie that I really, really loved is Insidious. The third one is Silence of the Lambs. Is there a living human being who doesn't get petrified by Anthony Hopkins as Mr. Hannibal Lecter? I mean, who can deliver this dialogue so frighteningly? I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Oh my God, that is like I've heard somewhere that Mr. Hopkins, Anthony Hopkins, did an improvisation during the shoot and added that thing, but that was so creepy and scary. I just couldn't sleep that day after watching that movie for the first time. So yeah, Silence of the Lamb. If you haven't watched it, guys, you're missing out on great things.
A census taker once tried to test me. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
I also really loved Identity, which is starring John Cusack, and it's an ensemble cast, but that was really a scary movie. If you haven't watched Identity, then go for it. For a person who doesn't enjoy horror much, I think I have watched all the horror movies out there. So maybe it's just the reading part, because reading is more, it adds more strain to you because you have to read it, right? Like watching, you can just close your eyes or close your ears so that you don't get any jump scares when you're not expecting, or all those shenanigans, right, that you do while watching a horror movie. But you can't do that while you're reading it, because you have to read through those to get to the story. So yeah, those are my horror movie recommendations. So I skipped a question which is part of this question, prompt number 4, and that is name a sequel that was better than the original. And I just cannot think of something. So I just skipped it. You know what? While I'm sitting down and editing this, something will come to me. I know that, and this happens all the time. But for now, I cannot think of anything. Prompt number 5, a movie that you're too scared to watch. I think just recently watched the trailer of Talk to Me. This is an Australian horror movie that is making the rounds in all kind of discussion forums, and people and critics alike are giving such great reviews for this movie. So I want to watch Talk to Me. If you haven't watched the trailer, go and check it out. Yeah, I am intimidated by the trailer. I don't know if I will watch in the theaters because, again, like you said, I can't do all those things like closing my eyes and ears and, or stopping it and then taking a break and then coming back and watching it. And all that shenanigans I cannot do if I'm watching a horror movie in the theater. So I prefer to watch it when it comes on OTT. But prompt number 6, Summer Loving, a book recommendation for the summer. When I think about summer, it's about something that makes me happy, right? Reading something that makes me happy. When I think about reading in summer, I think about murder mysteries because that's what I've been reading all my life. During summer vacations, I go to the library and pick up the most popular murder mystery, right? That's what I used to do. So for me, I think This would be a great pick for summer, which is Murder in Old Bombay. This is a book by Nerve March. So this is based in Old Mumbai, 1892 British India, and there is some kind of murder, I think, that happens, and somebody is investigating it. That's all I know about it. That sounds like a very cozy murder mystery, and I'm definitely going to read it. Another book that really gives me this warm and fluffy feeling, which I kind of associate with summer because it's summer vacation time. I used to always spend my summer vacation in libraries, and or tucked in a corner in my room, reading books that I borrowed from the library. So that's what I remember when I think about summer and mangoes. And legends and lattes, for some reason, it's brings this warm and fluffy, cozy feeling to me, and I would select this as a cozy reading. Number 7, Scythe Assassin, a villain you love to interview. I don't know if this is a villain or something, but it's definitely an anti-hero for me. It's a character from a book that I'm reading currently, which is The Wars of Light and Shadow, and that would be Lezlie. I would like to ask him a lot of questions, and I know that I will be agitated by his answers. I will not be able to accept his self-righteous excuses for the atrocities that he's committing, and there will be a feud, and I'm sure that he will use his power to annihilate me, and that's how it's going to end. But I will still ask him that question because I am brave and courageous, and I want to confront him because nobody else is doing it in the book. So yeah, my answer would be Lysair, from the Wars of Light and Shadow series by Danny Words. Number 8, The Group of Friends, a book with the worst friend group. You know what? I don't have any, because most of the books that I read, they have a great. Oh yeah, wait. Oh my God, I didn't have an answer while I was prepping for this video, but right now something, a bulb went on, and that is, what's the name of the book? Babel, the gang from Babel. I mean, oh, I, as much as I enjoyed reading that book, I really felt the circle of friends. They were kind of nasty to each other and not what I expected. So, yeah, I will choose The Group from Babel by R.F. Kuang. Prompt number 9, end of course, your last DNF. I didn't DNF any books recently, so all power to me, and all power to booktube and book community on Discord, because most of the books that I choose these days are highly rated by other book lovers. So most of the books are really great. I just didn't stumble across any books that I couldn't finish. So the power of booktube. And that's why you should subscribe to my channel and look out for the books that I am going to recommend to you, because they are all going to be splendid. Prompt number 10, Summer Party, a book with the worst party in it. So that would be, I think, The Guest List by Lucy Foley. And if I say anything about it and why I chose that, I might give away the plot. But basically, it's a bunch of people coming together in an island, where they're going to celebrate a wedding, a friend's wedding, and things go south like really soon, and scary, and with terrible consequences. I'll choose that, a book with a crappy party. So that would be my answer, The Guest List by Lucy Foley. Prompt number 11, we have a secret, a character that talks too much. Now, without thinking twice, I wrote down my answer as Fail from The Wheel of Time. And oh my God, is she annoying or is she annoying? Okay, enough said. She talks too much, she talks nonsense, she is arrogant, she is irritating. And hence my answer is Fail. Prompt number 12, Cabin in the Woods, the best setting for a book. So if I think about fantasy, I would like it to be set in a medieval period. If it's a murder mystery, then I would like it to be placed in a very quaint, sleepy British village, like proper Agatha Christie kind of setting. That is what I prefer in my murder mysteries. Prompt number 13, Friday the 13th. And that's the last prompt. A book that traumatized you. Book that I want to pick up that really traumatized me is 7 Days. I've talked about this book a lot. This is a kind of a survival thriller, survival slash psychological thriller. There were moments in this book that were so touching and so impactful on me that I actually, I wept. I really wept and cried, and it traumatized me in so many ways, and that's why I keep talking about it. Even now, and it's really rare that a thriller does that to me, because thriller is about moment of the it's a thrill of the moment kind of books, right? You read it for the thrill of it, and then you forget about it and you move on to the next one. But this one is it's staying with me even now, right? So I'm still thinking about it. Please go and check it out. Audio is fine as well. So that was the video, guys, and I hope you enjoyed my answers. If you love these questions, I think that these are wonderful questions and wonderful prompts. So if you think so too, please go ahead and do it. If you have a booktube channel, I would love to see your answers. If you don't have a booktube channel, that is also fine. Comment your answers to any of your favorite questions that you're compelled to answer. And let me know what you think of my answers as well, and I will see you soon in another video. Until then, keep reading. This is Angie signing off. Bye bye.